Hey folks, I'm Chuck Slemp and I serve as Commonwealth's attorney for Wise County and the city of Norton, Virginia. And I want to say thank you to ARC TV for inviting me to come and speak with you. Thanks for the invitation. We're recording this video here from downtown Wise, actually inside the Inn at Wise that's located right next to the courthouse. Under normal circumstances, it'd be filled with folks eating lunch right now and enjoying the historic building. So much history right here in these four walls. In this room, UVA Wise, formerly Clinch Valley College, got started. Elizabeth Taylor spent the night in this hotel. Governors of Virginia and elected officials from all over the country have spent the night here in Wise at the Inn. And we use the facility frequently for meetings with clients, visiting with dignitaries and folks. So it's a great facility. After the pandemic is done, please come and visit this facility if you haven't already. So I was asked to come on to speak a little bit about the COVID-19 pandemic, what it means for our community, what it means for the cases in court. Before I go too far, let me say and explain this. The Commonwealth's attorney, the office that I'm privileged and honored to hold, is a position, like in most states, we call it the district attorney. Here in Virginia, we call it Commonwealth's attorney. I'm elected every 4 years, and I serve at the will and pleasure of the public. My job is to work closely with law enforcement and with citizens to prosecute those who choose to break the law. We focus on public safety. We focus on making sure our community is safe from those who have done harm to others. And we focus on providing a voice for victims of crime. So if you've been a victim of a crime, feel free to call our office and we'll hopefully steer you in the right direction. Whether it means that you need to go speak to an investigator with the sheriff's department or one of the police departments, or maybe you already have a case and you're interested in getting restitution or having notification about your case. We represent the citizens, you, the public. I speak when I am in court. It's a humbling honor to go in court and know that I speak on behalf of 8.5 million people. I speak for the Commonwealth of Virginia in criminal cases. And so that is an honor. It's also a heavy burden, especially in times like these, because the pandemic means that your life is disrupted and our lives are disrupted as well. Crime doesn't stop. Crime doesn't take a quarantine break. Unfortunately, criminals would do you harm are still out there on the streets and are still committing crimes. Thankfully, the sheriff's department and our local law enforcement officers and the state police are out there in force taking action and making sure that our community is safe. Once they make charges, once the magistrate issues a warrant or after a law enforcement officer places a charge, that case then comes to my office. We've got one of the largest offices here in Wise County west of Roanoke. There's 10 prosecutors in our office. And what we do is we work with victims, with law enforcement, and with the court system to ensure that justice is done in each and every one of those cases. Sometimes that means working out a case and having the case resolved. Sometimes that means taking it to a trial and having a trial. So during this difficult time, while cases are still being made, unfortunately the court system can't meet regularly. The courthouse is closed to the public. Jury trials aren't happening. The grand jury process doesn't happen. That's because the governor's orders and the precautions for the pandemic say that no more than 10 people can gather in a certain room at a certain time. Well, it's not uncommon that if we were operating under normal circumstances, we'd have 500 cases on the docket in one day. God help us when the pandemic is over and the floodgates open. We'll have thousands of cases, but it's okay. Our prosecutors are ready and excited to get back to work and get started once the pandemic is over and once it's safe for the public to gather again. In the meantime, the Supreme Court of Virginia has issued various orders that mandate that the courthouse must postpone most of their cases. So what that means is if you have a traffic offense, if you have a case in which you are charged with a misdemeanor, or even a felony that the person is not in jail, those cases are all postponed. Those cases are put on hold and continue to some future date. Now, we don't know exactly when the pandemic will end. So we don't exactly know when these cases will be rescheduled. I know that the clerk's office has been sending out notices to folks who have traffic tickets. They've been mailing out a flyer that gives a new date. And unfortunately, some of those new dates will have to have new dates themselves because the judicial order extends through the end of April. So we don't know yet whether the Supreme Court will extend the judicial emergency and continue those cases even further out. I anticipate that they will, because the governor's order mandates that you should stay at home until June 10th. So you can't really come to court for a traffic case or a criminal case if you're supposed to stay home till June 10th. So how are we dealing with the criminal justice system? Because in my job, I have to look out for the public and try to take care of the public and make sure and ensure that justice is done and the public is safe. But we also, as prosecutors, I'm a minister of justice. What that means is I have to also look out for defendants' rights and the rights of the accused. And that's a duty that I take very serious. We don't want an innocent person convicted wrongfully of a charge or a crime. We also don't want an innocent person or someone even that's guilty that's charged with a crime not having an opportunity to be heard in court. That's what's so difficult about this pandemic. The courthouse is closed and cases are continuing. We have taken significant steps to ensure public safety, but also to protect victims and to protect the rights of defendants. So we are agreeing under certain circumstances to a bond where an individual would be in jail and can't have their case heard. So that's happened. We also are working closely with the Sheriff's Department, the Probation Office, and other folks to ensure that once an individual is released, that they remain watched and that the community remains safe. And if they do violate the terms and conditions of their bond would be revoked and they're incarcerated. So that's part of the process. The other process is that we are in Wise County doing video hearings, which is kind of cool. We've got the technology, the internet makes it capable for us to video stream a hearing with a defendant. They may be in jail, they may be at their house, their attorney may be with them or at their law office or in the courthouse. Either way, we can go in front of the judge and have a video hearing. We do them right now in arraignments, we do them for bond hearings, we do them for motions hearings, and we've even done them for plea hearings and sentencing hearings, which is kind of unusual and kind of new and different. This pandemic has caused us to do things that are kind of outside the box, but it's okay. We're working on that process and we're learning as we go. I know that the pandemic has made things very, very difficult for a lot of folks. Life is disrupted for a lot of people and jobs are put on hold. I know me, I can't go get a haircut right now. I need it. But in the meantime, take advantage of this opportunity to get caught up on housework or get caught up on reading projects that you might be working on, or work from home if you can do it. Our office is staggering our team into two different groups. One group that comes in half the week and the other group that comes in the other half of the week. And the reason we're doing that is we are making sure that if, God forbid, someone gets sick on one team, it doesn't sideline the entire criminal justice process. We all must do our part. We're all trying to get through this thing together, looking out for victims, protecting our community, and ensuring that the criminal justice system keeps moving, that the wheels on the train are still there when we get through this. And we are. We're going to get through this thing together. Last thing I'll say is this. If you've got a criminal case, either you're a victim of a crime or maybe you're charged with an offense, everything from a traffic offense to a crime, and you want to know more about when your case is going to be heard, well, you need to try to contact your lawyer if you have one and talk to them about the case. Unfortunately, if you're charged with a crime, I can't talk to you legally. But what you can do is you can contact the clerk's office or your attorney's office, or go to the website www.courts.state.va.us. That's the Supreme Court's Judicial Information System. One more time, it's www.courts.state.va.us. That website provides case information on cases all across Virginia. So you can actually go to that website, click the sidebar on the left, it says Court Case Information System. Click that, and then there's a drag-down menu that you can find the cases in General District Court and in Circuit Court and in all the different counties across the state of Virginia. You type in names or do a docket search, you can maybe find information about your case. If you're a victim of a crime, you are able to and should contact the Wise County Victim Witness Assistance Program at 328-9406. That's 276-328-9406. And as a victim of crime, you've got a right to be notified as to the cases that happen that involve you. Unfortunately, a lot of times, if you're a victim of a crime, your information is not always known to me at our office, our prosecutors, or even to victim witness. We've got to find folks sometimes. And so that's important. So if you're a victim of a crime, you should probably contact our office and let us know that you're out there, that you'd like information about your case. And maybe you've got questions. That's okay. We're here for you. Last thing, if you don't know when your court date is, stay tuned. We don't know exactly when this thing is going to end, but we're in this thing together. And hopefully, by the end of it, we will continue to be working harder than ever before to make sure that Wise County remains the safest place on earth and a great place to live, work, and raise a family. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate the invitation to be on. I'm Chuck Slemp, Commonwealth's Attorney for Wise County and the City of Norton. God bless you, and thanks so much.